Ooh, baby.
And a lot of people probably don't know this about Riff and Ricky.
Uh-oh.
How did you guys meet?
Oh, boy.
Go ahead.
Ricky, why don't you start with who you met first that
right.
brought you into my life?
I mean, you met me first, right? That's cool.
Yeah. all but 9 months ago.
Were you born then?
Kidding. All right, here we go.
All right, so I guess it was junior high at our old. What was it? It's our old high school. It's a school that has like K through 12.
Yeah, small school, small private Christian school.
Private Christian school. I met Aaron's brother Adam, the one that's he's famous in all our stories. Adam's
been a lot of videos.
Adam's a funny guy.
Yeah,
love Adam. But became good friends with him in junior high and just started hanging out with him and going to his house. Dang, I get it confused because I always say Aaron or Adam's house because he's very particular.
Yeah, there's a long-standing joke of my brother. He's very like, when you're like, hey, I'm going to Aaron's house. He's like, it's Adam's house. And he wasn't joking for a long time.
This is your older brother.
My one that's just 1 year above me.
1 year above me.
Yeah.
So we just started hanging out, playing games, all that good stuff. But there was a thing that I also love surfing, so and going out and doing that kind of stuff. And that's kind of how I met Aaron.
Yep. He called me Aaron. I remember seeing my brother come around with Ricky here and there, and I didn't really know him. He's like, what's up? What's up? And I remember when I think our relationship started turning into like a relationship as friends is one time I went over there with Adam and you were playing the Dreamcast. And I was like, oh, I don't remember what game you were playing. It might have even been Final Fantasy something. No, wait. No, it wouldn't have been. That wouldn't have been that. It was Sword of Berserk. Wow. Sword of the Berserk. And we just started talking, making jokes about dumb stuff. That game has a lot of really funny sexual innuendos. And we were both like, the guy's name is Balzac. Like, just like the dumbest, like, little kid jokes. But what really happened, what got it kicked off is Ricky was like, hey, I think I'm going to go surf. And I was like, dude, I'd love to come. Like, I was a sponger. You know, that's what I did all the time. Pretty heavily, go to the wedge a lot and drop some big crazy waves and stuff. And Ricky was like, yeah, I longboard. And I was like, sweet, I can pick up longboarding. Picked it up super quick because I was a lifelong skateboarder. Yeah. But I was like, yeah, I'll go with you. And my brother was like, dude, I don't want to go surfing. He's like, he gets motion sick.
Yeah, just on
he didn't want to get motion sick. Dude, he sit out there for 5 minutes like, I'm gonna vomit, bro. I can't be out here. I'm like, all right. So I started going with Ricky. And before you know it, we got very obsessed with going surfing. We were going day in, day out. To where we started hanging out to it became a joke. My brother doesn't care anymore, but he's like, do you still want my friend? And I was like, yeah, I think so. And it just kind of worked out that way where I kind of stole his friend, so to say. But we just started hanging out, and then I'd start talking to Ricky without Adam. And I was like, you cool with that? He's like, yeah, whatever, dude. It's fine. Like, all good. And I'd start being like, hey, Ricky, you want to go surf? You want to go surf? We'd go every day. He'd sleep at my house every other night. And then I basically became both our moms will call each other their son. His mom like, oh, my son Aaron, come here. And then same with my mom. She's like, oh, is my son coming? And I'm like, yeah, Ricky's on his way. Like, that's just how they treat. It was that much of us hanging out. And we would surf all day and play video games at night or watch Kung Pao.
Oh, we watched Kung Pao almost every night. That was we overplayed that movie, but I still love it.
We overplayed it every night. And well, I think our relationships started getting stronger and stronger as we, started hanging out every day. And then we ended up working together. We were like, hey, let's go get, I already had a job at I think Sprouts and some other places. But I was like, dude, Ricky, we should apply for In-N-Out together. And dude, I didn't even have a car. I showed up with ripped board shorts, a ripped Led Zeppelin t-shirt, like completely unprepared. I don't remember what you were probably dressed better. Your mom probably told you to.
No, I think, no, I don't even think I was dressed up because it was Josh that told us to go.
I think you were wearing ripped pants, if I remember, tight ripped pants. And we got a job at In-N-Out together.
They were tight.
That's what I remember. I didn't have a car at the time. I didn't have a car at the time, so it forced us to hang out more together because our boss would be like, cool, I'll just put you guys together on the same shift, like start time same, end time same. Yeah. And that's when we just became hung out. It never stopped. I mean, every day of our lives. And then obviously the YouTube side of it. I mean, that's when we just started, watching shows together. You started doing everything together. I'm like, dude, Game Chasers, Retro Hunters, like, dude, we could do this.
Yeah.
And I just remember being like, we buying a camera, we doing this. And it just obviously from there, us hanging out every day, even into our adulthood. I mean, that's when it was crazy to me is we're married now at this point. We have wives, but I'll be honest, nothing changed. Our wives were friends, they're friends. Ricky, tell me if I'm right on this. If I am right, I feel so embarrassed to even say it. Did I sleep at your house on your wedding night.
The day after.
That
Wait.
sounds. Yo, context, guys, please.
No.
Was that you in my bed? That was you.
So the first night we stayed at our own place, he was over and he spent the night. That's what it was.
Man.
First night, dude.
At our first place.
I just helped him move, and I was so comfortable with his wife too. And I was like, "All right, guys," and they're like waiting for me to. I'm like, "Guess I'm passing out on the couch." All right, guys. I didn't even ask. I just went and laid down on the couch. So, yeah.
All right, I
That's
got
awesome.
another question for you guys. Is
Can I
having,
just
like,
ask?
Oh no,
before-
yeah, you're good.
The whole story.
Yes.
Do you still have the Led Zeppelin shirt from the 90s?
Yeah, that's what he takes from
I
it.
do not.
Do you have the ripped pants?
It was crucial in us getting a job because the boss looked past that because he was like, "Oh, I love Led Zeppelin. Let me show you my tattoos." And quickly he was like talking for 2 hours, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh yeah, and you guys got the job." And I was like, "Sweet, like let's go."
Sounds like straight scene from Step Brothers when they just have both have tuxedos on. And one
Oh,
pops
dude,
over.
I
dude.
still can't believe they trusted us. I mean, we were great workers. I'm not gonna lie, but we goofed.
But they In-N-Out was a place that likes it a little bit if you
Yeah.
contain it because they want that high energy. I mean, you working In-N-Out, you walk in a bad mood, they'll look at you and be like, "Oh, potatoes in the back." That's it. Don't even say a word. Stay in the back. Like we want that vibe out here. And I was all about the vibe. You know? What up, customers? Woo! Like an idiot, you know.
Yo,
So, yeah.
just potatoes. Get out of here, dude.
We used to drink. Ricky and I used to drink from the shake machine at the end of the night, just like you see in the movies. Suckling down them steaks, bro. At the end of the night. I'm sorry, I don't mean to go off, but one of my favorite
No, you're
stories
good.
of all is we had this manager named McKay, and he was giant, bro. He was a big boy, and he was was Samoan, Hawaiian,
He was Samoan.
big old Samoan guy. I mean, like,
Yeah.
ooh, huge, probably like a good 5. And one day Ricky was like, "Hey, McKay, I eat spread a lot. Is spread fattening?" He's like, "I eat spread every day. Look at me." I was like, "Oh boy, spread will do it." So it was cool.
All right, going back to the question, I was gonna say, did you guys like having similar upbringings? Did that guy like bring you guys closer together?
I guess it would have, because I mean, technically, we didn't even know we grew up in like the same area
Vicinity.
for the longest time. But like we were like the same kind of like we didn't have much growing up, but
Yep.
what we had, we loved it. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't. That's the cool thing about like I don't know, the way we grew up is you cherish every like the little things you get nowadays. Like, dude, I'm
Totally.
like, this is so awesome.
You
When
don't
I
take
see
stuff
my
for granted.
yeah, when I see my kid like oh yeah, whatever, I'm like, dude, you have no idea what it's like to have like cool stuff.
Yeah, it's very bittersweet to like be successful, and I'll say that with humility, being successful financially, because it's bittersweet because you get to provide things for your kids that you wish you would have had the ability to have when you were a kid. But there's also times, like Ricky said, where I'm like, I don't like that you think you should just have that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't like that you think you are owed that because whoever has one at school. I struggle with that a lot, actually. I'm be honest. I work very hard to get my kids to the school they're in. It's very expensive. I work my butt off to do it, but they are surrounded by very, very wealthy people. It's in a very specific neighborhood. And again, I work my butt off to do it. So I'm proud of it. Also thankful. Thank you, God, providing that. But at the same time, there's days where I'm like, man, and these are good people. There's nothing wrong with them. They're great people. But I'm like, man, I don't want my kids to feel like they are owed that or that their lifestyle has to be the same way because, you know, and it's all relative. I'm sure those kids by those families know other families that are even more wealthy or more. And I don't ever want my kids to kind of, I don't know, get used to the idea that life is a handed thing, you know.
Yeah,
I've
but
had
I
a-
think sorry, you go
I've had
first.
a tough time with that with my son too, because with the video game store, like my son is a gamer,
Yeah.
and I've just had access to every single video game. So he's just, you know, as a kid, talk about like we weren't able to have this or this or this, but like with the stores, he grew up in the stores with me.
Yep.
So literally, like anything he ever wanted, he's like, "Dad, I want that toy. I want this toy. I want that." I'm like, "Well, yeah." I mean, once in a while, I'd be like, "No, no, you know,
Yeah.
no," but it was just kind of free access to everything. So was he spoiled a little bit? Yeah, but is he a really good kid and doesn't seem spoiled? Yeah, at the same time he does. So I don't know if it's bad to
You know, that
spoil
is
your
good. And I will
kids.
say, you can, you know, you say that about your son. And I will say, too, with great humility, my son and your son are good kids.
Yeah, they're good kids.
They're good kids. They're not into bad things. They don't do bad stuff. That's not their vibe. They're not excited by that lifestyle. So that's good to hear. That's refreshing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like as parents, because like I'm obviously not in that position, but I feel like as parents, you're really just striving to make sure that they're becoming good people.
Yeah.
Because the way we grew up, of course, when we get things, we're gonna be more appreciative than what we are providing our kids, right? Because you're in that spot where it's like, I am doing everything I can to make sure that you are not in the position that I was in.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I think when we talk about that's nostalgia and all that, we get that extra oomph of appreciation for things. And we just hope that shines a little bit more light on who your kids are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, being a parent, man, it's a wormhole of different emotions every day of figuring out what's the right thing to do, what's being a good dad, what's giving too much, what's giving too little, I don't know, bro. Sometimes I get mad about the dumbest stuff.
Yeah, I guess I just felt with the toys and the games too. I was like, man, I might as well just spoil you. I loved this stuff when I was a kid so much. I'm like, dude, if you want this thing, not everything.
And if he's a good kid,
Legends figures, I'll buy you.
He's a good kid and he works hard, you can earn it.
Yeah, and like your best memory is like having the Batman figures. Like that's so impressionable on you. Was it spoiling you? Maybe.
Totally.
But so what? It was a good memory.
Yep.
So
yeah, I always tell my kids because they'll be like, "Can you buy me this?" And I always say, "Yes, I could." And they go, "Will you get it for me?" "No, I won't."
Why
I mean, that's good too.
Got to earn it.
For
and
sure.
I say it with a
show
smile,
that.
and they know
Yes.
that's like my thing. Yes, I can.
And it's funny because Riff will be like, well, what do you got? You gonna earn it? What
Oh,
are you gonna
totally.
do?
He's seen me. I'm literally like, yeah. Oh, you want $5? That sounds cool. Yeah, go wash my car real quick.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
And
okay,
I'm like,
shoot, I better do it.
I'm in the background. Yes, Dad, I'll clean it. Give me that $5.